When will trading start under the AfCFTA? And what industries will benefit most when trade gets flowing?
Um, as I said, the deal was signed in 2018, and as I said, it's really impressive how far they've come along since then. The secretariat that would administer this deal is in place. The negotiations to finalize the deal, nearly all of it is done. Um, Especially on services, they've been able to identify the priority sectors that they would open up for liberalization to begin with, and then over time, the others that would follow. And commitments have been made on these services sectors. By the way, they include financial services, communications services, transport services, tourism, and business services. And you can see that these are the core services that can support traders as well. Um, so a lot has been done on that front. Where they were stuck is on trading goods, and especially the rules of origin, where in a free trade area, you want to make sure that all the goods that are produced in the free trade area actually originate from the free trade area, so that then the zero tariffs that they're moving towards could apply all across the free trade area market. Um, Now they were stuck because there are two very sensitive sectors that all the countries are interested in, and they wanted to make sure that uh, no country gets a benefit in those sectors that the others don't have. So the two sectors were textiles and clothing, and automotive sector. Textiles and clothing, it's self-evident that firstly, it's an industry that's relatively easy to get into, and all the countries are interested in it. And they just wanted to make sure that the goods produced, clothes, other forms of textiles that are produced actually originate from Africa. Or if there are inputs that are coming from elsewhere, it is clear and transparent what threshold will be allowed for those inputs that are coming from outside of the continent. And it's not been easy to negotiate and get agreement on that. The same with the automotive sector. Most of the countries understand that the automotive sector is a very powerful sector that can drive um, the industrialization process with many spin-offs, many other advantages, and so on. So they're all very keen to make sure, again, that the rules on the different inputs that are needed and so on are clear and transparent. They understood, of course, that they will need inputs from outside of the continent, but they wanted to make sure that they're all on the same page, that they're very clear on what they're allowing and the threshold that they're allowing, and so on. Now, I understand that the negotiations in these two areas are now nearly done. Um, there's an expectation that during the course of this year, those negotiations will be finalized. And if those negotiations are finalized, the deal could formally begin to operate as it is, expected it would. So that's what's holding up the full, if you like, operationalization of the deal. So when will trading start? Trading will start when this technical aspect is concluded. But in the meantime, a group of countries said, well, rather than wait until all of this is done, let us start trading anyway and applying all the rules that we have agreed on so far. So you have, I think, 8 countries that are in this scheme where they've started trading among themselves on the rules that have been agreed so far. And I think that just also illustrates the urgency that a number of these countries see, the opportunities that they see in this trade deal. Now, which industries will benefit? I would say all industries will benefit, whether you're looking at the agricultural sector, of course, which dominates the African production landscape. Suddenly bringing tariffs down to zero makes it cheaper for goods to be sent across borders because they don't have to pay any duty when goods travel across borders. Industrial sectors, manufacturing sectors would benefit because it's a bigger market. The African population now is 1.2 billion, and within that, about 300 million is estimated to be middle class, meaning that they have the kind of purchasing power that you find, wherever the middle class is. So it's quite a large market. The middle class is about the same size as the market in Europe or the US. So it's quite a large market. So all industries will benefit. Services also would benefit. And especially when you have so many diverse countries on the African continent, 54 countries. The expectation is not that they would all be producing the same things, doing the same things, and so on. But in fact, you'd have regional value chains where some countries will be producing inputs that are used in other countries because trade can flow more smoothly, supply chains can flow more smoothly, and so on. So I think all sectors, all industries would benefit. Investors also would see the African market as much more attractive, since it's not just investing in one country, and the African countries tend to be small because of the way the Africa was carved up into all these many different states. So there's that opportunity then for scalability, deriving these scale economies and so on from this market. So this is a deal that is potentially win-win for all of the African countries, and I would say also for the rest of the world, because a prosperous Africa would also be a stable Africa. A stable Africa means less pressure on migration, instability, political conflict, and so on. Many of those things you can trace back to poverty, lack of opportunities, and so on. So I think with all industries, all sectors benefiting, overall the picture for Africa would be much better than it has been, and as that we have seen in the past.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoy this video, you may find some of our other work interesting. Check out another video here. Also, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button below, leave a comment, and follow the IATP on Twitter at @the_IATP.